We're in. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is James, and I'm the keeper for today's game of Call of Cthulhu. We are playing A God's Dream, which is a scenario from Cult of Cthulhu. Specifically, it is the last scenario from this wonderful source book, which spans several different time periods in the scenarios that it presents. I'm joined by the fantastic cast, which I will hand across to in just a moment. But first, I would like to say a brief thank you to Roll20 and to Sirenscape, tools which we use to improve our games. Without further ado, then, let's start pointing at people and getting them to introduce yourself. Jackson, I think you're first in the line of fire.
Oh yeah, because we don't have art today. Hey, I'm Jackson, and I put my character together. I thought, oh, what's a bit of a Ponzi kind of rich boy name? James, that's a good name. And so I completely forgot that the keeper of today is James, and I'm playing James Scunthorpe of Scunthorpe and Scunthorpe Law Firm. He's going to do a great job. He'll be fine.
I'm sure he's going to do just wonderfully. And I'm going to take that as a compliment, because if I take it in any other way, I'm going to feel very, very sad.
Good idea.
Firing across next, Dave, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, g'day, I'm Dave, and today and for the next couple sessions, I am playing Miss Dina Vellum. I am a very junior private investigator, and for the start at least, I'm going to be playing a non-believer, sort of person who thinks that everyone else is running around in rubber masks, and if we can just pull them off, we'll see the park attendants underneath.
Well, that's probably a good guess in a game like this.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're
I feel
just
good
going to
about
put you in
this.
good stead. Yeah, I can't go wrong.
Oh, I also took
and
advantage of playing a modern scenario to equip myself with a taser and mace, which I'm very excited to use, way more than the gun.
Exactly. Yes, this is a modern scenario, and I encourage you to make full use of the modern technology that will be available to your characters, because God knows, or Cthulhu knows that your enemies certainly will. Let's fire across to Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex, and for the next couple of sessions, I am playing Lucas Bailey asterisk on all official documents, Bailey Lucas, because that keeps the feds off your tail. A journalist and dyed in the wool conspiracy theorist. I swapped my library use points with computer use, which should kind of tell you, that kind of journalist.
Well, it's absolutely fantastic, and really, the best library is just going on Wikipedia and then clicking around for the
Wikipedia. Come on, you need to get Tor on your browser, and you need an onion browser, and you need to get on the dark web, man.
Running DuckDuckGo.
That's where the truth is.
No, perfect. All right, fantastic, brilliant. Yes, so this is a modern day scenario, and I think that without further ado, it's best if we just jump in. So let's start with that. It's the modern day, the lovely year of 2023, and the collection of you are living in and around the city of Chicago. The unifying fact between all of you is that you are friends, acquaintances, well, a bit closer than acquaintances. You are familiar with a man named Carl Day. He's a private investigator who works out of Chicago. You haven't seen him super recently, but you keep in pretty good contact. What I'd like to do is start by throwing to each of you and asking you, how do you know Carl Day? Tell me a little bit about your relationship with this person. We'll go through the same order. Jackson, how do you know Carl?
Yeah, so I think we said it was a bit of a family connection, or like a bit of an ex-family connection. I think he might be like my ex-uncle who was married to my brother's sister once my father's sister once in a previous life. And so I've seen him be the drunk uncle at a Christmas or Thanksgiving more than once. So I got the dirt on him. But him being a private investigator, my father and uncle running Scunthorpe and Scunthorpe, one of the most prestigious law firms of Chicago, means that there's still like a bit of a professional connection there as well.
How do you pronounce that name again, Jackson?
Scunthorpe and Scunthorpe.
Okay.
Speaking of Wikipedia, type Scunthorpe into Wikipedia and see what auto completes and go down a little bit of a rabbit hole.
There's just enough personal ties that you have to keep in contact with Carl, but he's a friendly enough sort, and the divorces in his past are not so much out of any personal fault on his part. He's just the kind of man who has a problem for every solution that is presented to him. Firing across next, Dave, what about yourself? How do you know Carl?
Yeah, so Carl and my father was a quite successful private investigator, although he got in too deep and he got into all the weird stuff that I am not acknowledging yet. So they went on adventures and mysteries and things like that. And then after my father died horribly in some freak boat accident, I went on, and he's since been something of a mentor to me, although a little distant throughout it. So kind of a professional relationship, I suppose, with a bit more of a tie in, historically.
Absolutely. Do you think that there's a professional relationship there, but you can have mentor figures that they can mentor you by kind of showing you what not to do sometimes. Do you admire Carl, do you think, really? Or is it do you have a more well-rounded picture of him, do you think?
I do admire him quite a lot. I think he's quite successful as a PI. I think I've just got the shutters up and refuse to acknowledge some portions of it being anything mythos related, which, as I understand, is what he is more into, which does limit my view. And I think since he's seen me just not acknowledge it, refusing to see it, he has stopped talking about those aspects, and it's leaving a lot of plot holes in his life and in what he does professionally, which means that there's just blank sections and really can't form a really close connection.
That makes total sense to me, and it fits. I think Carl, a flawed man, as we're hearing, but genuinely a decent person. So there's a few holes, there's some tensions in your relationship based on the fact that he's starting to leave out some bits, you're not looking at some bits. But yes, Alex.
I'm in chat, and I've got it looks like I've got a problem with the broadcast, and I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, no, I just saw that.
I did have
we're back. There we go.
My thing went bing bong, and then
back. And we're getting it back now, so good.
I think we're
good now. Okay.
We're good? Okay.
I love
good.
Stafford saying the midwinter wired chill in Melbourne. Gotta go there and beat all the magpies off
This
true.
weekend.
It's so true.
You don't want frost on your
on your copper.
Trans-Tasman cables,
copper
which are
lines.
What a country.
Copper lines, Jesus.
Speaking of
What a
2023
culture.
and cutting edge technology.
How do you spell that, Deb?
Absolutely. Cole gets into the internet, you'll never get it out. Anyway, so yes, mentee, fantastic.
Oh, I think-
Moving across to Alex. How do you know Carl?
Lucas Bailey knows Carl professionally. He would feed me cases and give me exclusives to publish in, well, not my magazine obviously, but the magazine that I write for, prestigious publications across America, and would give me all of the scoops on things like extraterrestrials and the like. That the mainstream media would just they wouldn't publish the truth.
Did you take it further, do you think, than he liked to take it? Do you think that he'd feed you?
I did my own investigations. He would give me the seeds. He would give me bits and pieces. It's professionalism on his part. He can't give me all of the information. But, he wasn't a denier. He wasn't, he wasn't trying to pull the wool over anyone's eyes. He was just giving me exactly what I needed to do my own investigations and find out what was really going on.
Okay, well, thoroughly decent of him then. Okay, brilliant. So we've established you all know this guy, and for reference, Carl is a getting up there now, a little bit older, a little bit pudgier around the side. It likes to dress a little bit private investigator. You know what I mean? So he has a tendency to put on big coats. Likes to always have a coffee in his hand as he's going from a stakeout. Yeah, exactly. Drives a car that kind of makes him stick out a little bit. Not great for tailing people, but doesn't look PI out of anything. Moving along. You're going to start off by getting a phone call. And I want to ask, which of you is the most likely and the best at picking up phone calls? Something pops up on your mobile. It's an unknown number.
No.
Which of you is the most likely
Lucas
to respond to
ditches
this?
the phone into the lake, gets another.
Yeah.
I've been found.
If it's my work phone, I'd answer that. Of course, that's fine. I've got a personal phone and a work phone, obviously. Who doesn't today?
You've
Yeah,
only got two?
We're supposed to separate those.
Oh, like no, but I'm saying like the young hotshot kind of daddy's boy lawyer type.
You've still got a
Of
BlackBerry,
course.
don't you?
Oh, great. Yes.
I think James like cycles through the latest model. He's got one of those like phone plans where he just
Oh,
like
yeah. Just
he
upgrade
pays a
immediately.
subscription and he gets the new one every single year. And
Yeah.
he does that for both his personal and work phone. What's my credit rating? How did 70? Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, all right. Well, yeah, absolutely. Newest phone. You've got two of them. So you can keep on both ecosystems. Let me ask you this: what would Carl call you on? Would he get you on the personal mobile, or would he get you on the work one?
He'd get on the work one these days. Ever since he was quietly removed from the family Facebook group chat, so he's going to call me on my work phone now.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
All right. So, in which case, it is just getting towards the end of the workday. You're winding down. Although, James, you strike me as the kind of person who might knock off a bit early if the opportunity.
Thank you, James. You're right.
This is going to get confusing.
I know, so many regrets, but Dave's already made the overlay. So what can we do?
You could always call James Jim like you do all of the time.
Wait, call which James Jim?
Oh no!
I'm gonna come over there.
Oh, great. Okay,
It'll be fine.
Call comes through towards the end of the workday, and it's a woman's voice. She speaks with a slight accent. You would guess that her main language is Spanish, and she is pretty hesitant when she starts to talk. She says, "Oh, hello, this is Mr. Scunthorpe," and she hesitates a little, stumbles over the words.
Speaking.
Hello, yes. My name is Dr. Sonia. I'm from the Rio Grande Hospital in Argentina. I'm calling. I'm delivering. I mean, we have a gentleman here, Mr. Day, Carl Day. He says
Carl Day. Now, how did he get himself all the way to Argentina?
Well, that's just the thing. Mr. Day was found just recently outside a research facility in Antarctica. Injured, unwell. We've flown him to Argentina as quickly as possible to receive treatment. And we're a little mystified. He insisted that we get in contact with you and two other folks as well. Is there something going on here I should know about? He's not in a particularly good way. And well,
that's no good at all. I'm glad you got in touch with me. It's a bit of a family connection here. I'd be happy to take the next plane down to Argentina and meet the old chap.
That might be best. We'll have to organize something. At least she starts to take some of your details and go through logistics. She's confused, but she's not.
I'm confused.
Yeah, this is a flabbergasting situation, but she's not in some acute distress beyond going, why the hell did this happen? Do you have any questions that you throw out towards her specifically?
Well, yeah. I mean, He's regained consciousness, obviously.
Well, he was
found unconscious. Oh, he's found conscious.
Found conscious. I obviously wasn't there, but the
Gotcha.
Reporting is that he was found outside the research facility. He was wearing some kind of environmental suit, but it was damaged. It didn't have a hood or gloves, and he was clutching some kind of statue with him, and he's been quite erratic, demanding to speak to people. Is he involved in? People are talking. you got to understand there's questions of national sovereignty here. People are saying espionage. I mean, the
Oh,
Antarctic researcher-
no. Perish the thought. Carl's just a bit of a fancies himself as an investigator. He likes a bit of adventure, likes a bit of mystery. He may have taken it a step too far this time, but I'm happy to come down there and sort it out. Maybe it'd just be best if we sort out the whole mess in person. I can get a flight down there in the next 2 days. Make sure it all gets straightened out. You mentioned 2 other people. You wanted to see 2 other people. I'm happy to book a ticket for them as well.
Are you familiar with and provides the name of the other 2 investigators? Somewhat obviously.
I think so. Yeah.
So you all know each other through your connections with Carl, and you all know, apart from, of course, for D, that there's some attachment to the occult side of things. Well, particularly through
course.
Lucas.
Yeah. No, I know those 2. That's all right. We'll get in touch. We'll get the gang together, and we'll get the next flight down. All right. Let me see. What other questions do I have?
Well, I'll still need to call the 2 of them just to.
That's fine. And he hasn't said much about what he was up to, what he was doing there in Antarctica. You say
he was distressed. He said someone's chasing him, and he needed to speak to the 3 of you.
Yeah,
urgently. And that he was in danger. But he's not in danger. He's clearly intensely distressed. We thought it might have been the effects of hypothermia at one point. But once again, Antarctica, you do understand. I don't know. He didn't have a vehicle.
Yeah, well, look, it sounds like he's not well. That's the main thing we can say. I'm sure you'd concur, Doctor, in your professional opinion. He's just not well, and if getting him well if us being there is gonna help him get well, that's a number 1 priority. And I'm sure you'd agree it's nothing to bother the authorities about. He sounds like he's just going through a rough patch, right?
Okay, so that is a good angle to take. I think that. Are you trying to angle for a fast talk here? Because this would seem like a persuade from my.
Yeah, I was thinking persuade.
I'm totally fine with persuade. Throw out a persuade check.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm kind of saying, you've been looking at him. You're a doctor. He might just be a bit crazy. Don't worry about it. 41.
Strong start.
Okay.
Yes.
So she starts to kind of make murmurs of assent. She understands what you're trying to do, and she does seem to be reciprocal to a certain degree. She's going, look, I don't want to make any larger difficulties for anybody, but this is a serious enough event. There are. I mean, we've had to fly someone out urgently. The authorities are aware, but look, we're not trying to begin some kind of criminal proceeding here. We're just trying to make sure that he's well. We'll make sure that everything proceeds as smoothly as possible at this stage. He's someone who's sick, and we want to make sure he's better.
All right. Well, we'll be there day after tomorrow, I expect.
Okay, fantastic. So after bidding farewell to you, she hangs up. She does call the other 2 of you, tries to get in contact. Lucas, she might not get through to you, depending on how
you might have like the one phone, just that you're like, hey, in emergency, like this is the.
I have a Nokia, and you're allowed to leave a message.
Okay.
That I may or may not check.
In which case, she'll leave a message. She'll try and get through to you as well, D.
Dina.
Dina. Sorry, I had D in my head for some reason. For sure,
Starts
Dina. Okay. Anyway, try to get through to you as well.
I'd respond. I'll certainly answer.
It's a similar conversation to start.
Yeah.
If you want to throw out any questions of your own, please do.
Only thing, just for spice, I think it'd be I'm like hidden in the back of my shitty little car when the call comes through, and I have to speak very quietly as I'm watching someone through the windows to see what they're up to. And the only other thing I'd ask that James didn't, that is going to be confusing, and Scunthorpe is an awful name to say repeatedly.
No, it's going to have to be Scunthorpe.
All right, it's gonna
I'm
have to be
sorry,
Scunthorpe.
there's nothing I can do.
Big S, big Scunthorpe. All right, anyway, the only thing Scunthorpe...
He's probably a junior, but I don't know if we want people calling him junior.
What about senior? And you preempt it. You're waiting for the
But
old man to go.
If he's a junior that he hates people being like calling him junior, is that not the exact thing that Deanna's going to call him?
Dina.
Yeah,
Why is my
no, that's a
name being
good
the one
point.
that's getting fucked up?
Yeah.
I also love that because Jamie has run the gambit of Jim names. He's gone by Jim, Jimmy, James,
I know.
Jamie, Jimbo.
Jamie.
We've done all of them. There's none that
You've done all of these. There's nothing you can do.
I came up with this character's name like 2 days ago, and I didn't realize until this morning. Oh no, what have I done?
I've redrafted it before. The only thing that Scunthorpe didn't mention is I will ask to talk to him. Can I talk to Carl? He's lucid, right?
Yeah. He's currently in transit. He's being treated. They're moving him through to the hospital.
And he's on a plane somewhere or on a boat.
Yeah. Luckily there was a flight heading out, so they put him on that. He is coming. So they can get through a message, but it's going to be very delayed. They say that once they get in contact, they'll do like a satellite phone call. But if he's speaking, he's lucid, he's okay.
Okay. I'll ask a string of questions, when he's going to arrive, where a couple of pieces of clarification, and then I'll hang up. Scunthorpe has my number if he wants to get in touch with the stuff, and I'll continue tailing. This is, priority B for me.
I get you. Okay, so this is a day away at this point. He's really from when he's going to be properly in Argentina, accessible, things like that. Okay. Gotcha. That's all fine on that end. And Lucas, anything that you throw out? Do you receive the Nokia call? Do you just send back a coded message?
Compromised.
What, me? Or...
I'm saying here. No, just.
No.
I think I send back like an AC, like not a proper emoji, but like a Nokia emoji of just a thumbs up, like a crappy one.
You get like a long text back from Sonia being like, look, this is as I'm really trying to get in contact. Anyway, but
no
more
phone number's
follow-ups
already been taken off the grid.
But I don't want it's the 5G, man. I don't want to spend too much time on the phone.
Yeah, I get you. So I want to jump back very quickly towards Dina. You said you hang up afterwards.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little snapshot of where you are now? Describe your character a little bit physically, because we're gonna jump into another scene with you right away.
Sure. So currently I'm parked, I don't know, Chicago, downtown, or like in a shitty suburb or something. I'm hunkered down in the back of my car, which has these shitty little blinds I can roll up so that you can't see inside. I can also sleep in it if I need to for stakeouts overnight. There is a pile, like a litter of empty coffee cups under the seats, and I keep on trying to take up smoking because it's what PIs do, but I really don't like it. And I also don't drink. I've got a shitty pair of binoculars that I'm peering through a window at, and there's a house on the other side of the street that I'm probably telling like a boyfriend suspected of cheating, or like a shitty drug dealer. Like, it's really low level stuff, but this is entry level PI. And occasionally I'll prop up. I have a cool film camera with a telescopic lens that I'll fire off a shot with when I can see the suspect in question heading out and shaking hands with someone or giving a kiss on the cheek, and then hide back down and add it to a just huge manila folder filled with documents. And whenever I'm not looking, I'm thinking and I'm going through questions, and everything's been like templated out. I have a series of I Googled at one point important questions to know about a case. And what I've done is I've structured those all out into a list and left spaces for blanks. Then I've gone to like a copy, like an office or a Staples or something, and run off like 100 of them. And when I have a case, I go through and I fill out every section. And then when it's done, I've done a good job and I can take that back to the person. And sometimes, hopefully, they pay me.
For some reason, I imagine it's developed out from you found it on a true crime blog or something like that, and went out from it from there because it was the first thing that popped up. But it's embarrassingly effective.
Absolutely.
Investigate by numbers.
Yeah, for sure. There's a template. It'll work. There's a system.
Just
Massive
as
investigating.
Hey.
Just to set the tone, do you have a professional skill that you think you want to roll here, just to see how the night is going for you?
Yeah. I've done what I've always done and slapped about 40 points and everything. Let's try. I'll use photography. I'm like all right at it, but I think that's probably what I'm leaning on a lot, and the skill I'm currently building on. So I'm gonna roll a photography. Ka-chow. How's that for a start?
Okay.
It's a success.
Nice.
All right, not bad. Okay, so you've got a healthy pile of photographs to add to your ever-growing stack. You put down the phone in your car. Look back towards the house. You kind of heads. Are you the kind of person to get shook by this a bit, or are you able to compartmentalize?
I get shaken a lot more than I'd like to be. This is, again, it's something sort of strange, and I think I'm aware of some of Day's odder investigations, and as soon as this starts trickling through it, I try and focus, because this is a paying job, and this is something for the resume, so I need this, but I'm thinking about the Antarctica thing, and I'll take a photo, and then I'll put it down, I'll open a scratch pad and start like putting down the few things I know about what just happened today, like Antarctica, and I get the photo out, and I put it down, I get my phone out, I'm like Googling, or like I zoom in on Antarctica and Argentina, and I read about how that goes, and I put that down, I get the camera back out.
Perfect. So you get through about 2 cycles. It's not very long. You put down the camera, you pull out the phone again. You've just got to Google one last thing. You're checking the times when a call pops up, and it's from Carl.
I answer it. It's from like his mobile.
It's from his mobile, yeah.
Yeah, I answer it. I will not talk first.
Hi, Dina? Dina, are you there?
Carl? Yeah?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Carl,
oh, hey.
I just got a call
Sorry.
that you're in a hospital in Argentina.
Oh, yeah, Dina, sure. Look, I was there, they're chasing down a case, I guess. Look, I was just calling up because I actually wanted your help with something, though.
No. No, Carl, I got a call from a Dr. Sonia at the Rio Grande Hospital in Argentina. They said they found you out in a base in Antarctica somewhere.
Are you joking?
No. Are you?
No, not at all.
Carl, is there a reason why someone would want me to think that you're in Argentina? They said they called Scunthorpe as well, and they were going to try and get in touch with Bailey. What do the three of us have to do with this?
Well, I got no idea. I'm in Chicago. I'm not in Argentina or in Antarctica. I'm nowhere near that.
Listen, I have to go soon, but if this is one of your strange investigations, all right, you can keep me out of it. Where are you at the moment? I want to see you.
Oh, I was calling you up because I'm doing a minor stakeout job. Not that I just needed an extra pair of eyes overnight. It's nothing too strange. Look, listen, I can meet you though. Do you know Insomnia Coffee House?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not too far from there. I was going to get dinner. I can meet you there tonight. 8 o'clock?
Yeah. 8 should be fine. Okay. All right. I'll meet you there. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, I'll see you soon.
Okay, I gotta call Scunthorpe. Hangs up.
I would say as soon as he hangs up, I was gonna call Scunthorpe anyway, and try and call Bailey too to see if they got the same call.
Okay. What follows is a fantastic game of phone tag.
Yeah.
This is why group chats were invented.
We're not that close. We'll get the group chat when we've earned it.
If you do, you have to resurrect the one which is like 2020 birthday party from one of all of your. That's the only thing that gets everybody.
Yeah.
Or it's
I want to say that Lucas straight up just shows up to probably Dina's house.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah.
When you get home, he's just there.
Because Lucas isn't gonna jump into a group chat unless it's like everyone's got like a super secure browser and everyone's got like the double encrypted messaging apps and like all the steps have
don't you
been
know
taken.
who runs Signal these days? It's not secure. It's not
I
even.
don't. I'm glad someone does.
None of this is secure. None of those. If you can download it from an app store, it's not secure. They get the IMEI number from your phone.
If you can't download it for
Well,
the
if
App
you're
Store, how
using
do
a
you
phone
get
at
it?
this point.
Doesn't make any sense.
So quickly, you are going to get through first. So I'm going to assume, Scunthorpe, that you try and get in contact with some of the others.
Yeah, like
you-
Scunthorpe was completely like sold, and it's kind of Jackson was completely sold because Jackson is like, oh, I'm playing
Jackson
an
wants to go to
RPG.
Argentina.
I've got the premise of the scenario. I need to go along with that so we can start the story. I wasn't expecting it to be a twist at the very beginning. So, but yeah, like just ready for an Argentinian holiday, to be honest.
So what we're going to say is you went
Already
straight
back.
on, and you made a booking because also
I bought the flights. Yeah, I booked the flights.
you also kind of know that you could probably have some fun down in Argentina, so it's probably not a bad place to be.
And it sounds like it's going to be a business expense, so win-win.
Yeah, couple of dinners. So you hesitated for a bit, and you were just about to call when Dina calls you. Dina, you get through before Carl does, if indeed he immediately starts calling everybody else. So the two of you can get hooked up into a call. And at this point, would it be safe to say that your character heads home and would crash into Lucas before too long?
Yeah, of course. I've got the photos. I need to get them developed and everything, so I'd head back to mine. I'll probably make the call from home, actually, so we can have it on speakerphone with Lucas and I in front of the speakerphone dialing in Scunthorpe at his office.
That makes total sense. And also, of course, Lucas wouldn't maybe use a phone that doesn't belong to them. As you pull up outside your house, Lucas, do you want to give us a description of your character lurking outside Dina's house?
Oh, yeah. Lucas shows up in the world's oldest Ford.
Hell yeah.
Your world's oldest Ford. Like brown, with rust spots and a bit of duct tape and some paint. And with like massive dark sunglasses on, a big hat pulled down way over his eyes. Wearing like camo pants, but black camo pants, and a t-shirt that is it's supposed to be like one of those muscle t-shirts, but unfortunately he's got no muscle. He's a bit of a beanpole, and he's got like a bit of a three day scraggly beard, and a shaved head. He's somebody who's trying to look very intimidating and looks not at all intimidating, just not at all. And while Dina's got the really nice kind of professional camera, he's got like a power shot from 2011.
Hell yeah. It's funny because you've got like the old shit box, whereas I've got a cheap car, but it's just the modern cheap car.
It's nice.
It's a new one, but it's just whatever costs the least money.
Yeah. Oh, and this would be a nice car if you put any care, effort, or talent into it.
Hell yeah.
What's the two of your relationship like, do you think? What's your reaction, Dina, to having somebody appear outside your house? It is Lucas. I think they're probably a character to you.
I would imagine this is a little bit how it's gone before. I mean, you've got my address. We've done a couple cases together. I think I know Lucas can get information that others can't. It's also, I see tech stuff on that level as much wizardry as any potential magic we've run into, so it kind of just in my head I think I don't realize the limits Lucas has, and I just think he can kind of get anything with enough time, and I'm a little scared of that as well.
Because in the back of this Ford, he's got this big case. It looks like a roadie case almost, and it's his laptop case, and there is some tech in there.
Sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sick.
Perfect. Right. So after a brief conversation, then we'll move straight through and we'll cut to you're inside your kitchen now. At some point, gathered around a table on speakerphone with James. How far away? What's the conversation like?
So once we get through the ring of secretaries or whatever, I will say, I just got a call from Carl Day. Did you?
I did. I got you on speakerphone, by the way.
You driving?
Oh, we've got you on speakerphone.
Yeah, we've got
you on speakerphone.
Yeah.
I don't like being on speakerphone.
It's Lucas.
We're inside my house. It's fine. No one's listening in.
All right. That's fine.
Listen, I got 2 calls back to back this morning. I got one from a Dr. Sonia over in Argentina and a second from Carl. Now, then Dina remembers you're not supposed to lead the witness. So if I want to get real information, I have to just ask him what he heard. So, Scunthorpe, if you got a call, what did they tell you this morning?
Well, heck. It was an unknown number from a Dr. Sonia, someone in Argentina.
I should fire quickly. Dr. Sonia Sanchez. I said Dr. Sonia because I blanked on the last name for a second. Dr.
That's
Sonia
fine.
Sanchez.
It's in character for Scunthorpe to kind of forget it, to be honest. He's not a very good lawyer. Like, he made it all the way through school, but he should have been chewed up and spat out. Like, if it weren't for his daddy.
Money? Yeah.
Generous donations.
Love that.
That's it. And she said that they found him in an Antarctic base and they were flying into Argentina. So if it sounds like we got to meet up with him and see where he actually is.
Yeah, listen, he said he's at an insomnia cafe. He wants to meet up with us. Minor stakeout thing. Well, actually, he called me, but I told him that I'd gotten the call. As we're talking, can I turn to Lucas and say, hey, would you be able to check the number that came through from Argentina? See if it's tied to the actual hospital? It was listed as unknown, but wouldn't
I Googled that doctor on the way over here. Locally hosted voice assistant. You can't obviously put that on the net properly, but you can host them. You know, host it locally.
Not understanding.
Yeah. She didn't come up in anything I could find. But that could just be a result of the Argentina thing. Like, doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. I think it means something. But
Okay, well, maybe keep looking. We'll meet you, Scunthorpe. Can you meet us at this cafe at? Look, he's gonna meet me there at 8. Why don't you meet us there at 7:30? We'll set up, and then we'll interview him when he gets in.
It sounds like we just got to find out who wants us to go to Argentina on a wild goose chase, but also it's not a very good plan, is it?
Well, they might just want us to get out of Chicago, but there'd be easier ways to do that.
But
are you sure it was Carl? Are you sure it was Day who actually called you? Was it Carl? Was it definitely Carl? Was it somebody using a voice changer?
It sounded like him, and it spoke like him too, but I mean, this is what we'll find out. Let's go there. And
but I mean, have you seen where AI is at these days? They can do anything.
If they've got a voice print, if they've got his voice print, they can do anything with it. That may not have been Carl.
They can, but it recognized his
He might
number,
be in
and
Argentina.
there's no way to spoof that, right?
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay.
There is?
Well, listen.
This could be going in any direction.
What I say is, let's get to the place. We'll post the two of you up in the booth, and I'll lay low outside and stake him out as he comes in. I'll recognize his car and get a couple of photos of him. Then I'll walk in and meet him afterwards. We should be able to verify if it's him with an in-person meeting.
It's a good thing I brought my my anti-camera hat.
Your what?
I got a hat. It's got patterns on it. Makes it really hard to detect on
I get my camera
the flicker from the camera. The flicker from the camera. It's in the car. It's in the car. Not now. It's in the car. Okay, before we go.
All right. Well, listen. Closing in. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
So you head towards Insomnia Cafe, coffee house.
Just one minor thing. Before we go, I'm gonna head into my bedroom, and under the bed, I have a list of evidence from cases I'm working on. I have an older one that I never finished, where I have a gun from some gang thing I was half investigating, still in a little Ziploc bag, and evidence number 013 written. I'm gonna get in the plastic bag, and then a plastic bag of bullets, and I'm gonna put them, bundle them up in a jacket and put them in my backpack. Because if this guy is doing dodgy business, I want to be prepared.
Oh yeah, well, absolutely fantastic. Got to and just like smoking, PIs love carrying guns. They tend to
love guns,
not have them glad wrapped, but
You hate them, don't you?
I do. I super do.
So the collection of you head towards Insomnia Coffee House. Then it is, yes.
Jim, you didn't ask what kind of car Scunthorpe drives.
I was going to get your arrival at the coffee house as an excuse.
Right,
Don't worry, we'll get towards you, and I am excited. Never fear.
Mazzy.
But
Can I do a quick search on the way for
yes,
the hospital number?
I absolutely. You can do a computer use search. Would you like to as well, Dina, make a listen? check. You were
Sure.
just trying to think retroactively if this was actually Carl.
Yeah. Can I argue psychology?
Sure.
Kind of like, is this his cadence? Is he reacting how I would have expected him to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because now I know about this AI thing. I'm not trusting the voices anymore.
Fair
Ciao.
enough. And finally, Skunk, if you can think of something that you want to throw out, if there's any retroactive tests you wanted to make, even if it's just like a credit rating to say that you actually have established good travel to Argentina or something like that.
Credit rating to like get a lowdown on where this person wanted us to go, right? Like, so I've got the flights booked, but I also kind of like know the area, and I've got my people, got my assistant to look into like a hotel near the hospital. So I've already got like some idea about what would be waiting for us if we were to get there.
All right, do you want to make a credit rating check?
Very
I'd
well
love
for
to.
business class tickets we will not use.
Oh yeah, traveling
it's
for
First
miles,
class,
you know.
baby.
Credit rating.
Going through psychology, failure. Dina, it seemed like Carl.
Yeah.
You picked up nothing out of the ordinary. You're not really in a position to be trying to super identify whether it's AI because you don't know how good they are. So maybe
I start editing my templates to include a psychological voice profile for future ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good thing to check. Lucas, you start trying to research this hospital, researching Dr. Sonia Sanchez. You come up with nothing beyond the generic. It appears, you find a listing, like an employee listing for a Dr. Sonia Sanchez at the Rio Grande Hospital, but then you find another, and you're not sure if it's like an out-of-date repeat or whether there's nothing
It's a different
beyond.
person.
Yeah. So unfortunately, nothing there. You managed to get through a few calls, James, on the other hand, and you do start to set up travel. Most importantly, when you contact, a travel agent who you're used to working with or something like that, somebody who helps you with these sort of logistical matters, they call you back just as you are arriving in Insomnia Coffee House and saying, I got in contact with the hospital and they've let me know, and I've got and confirms that this is real. There are people who go, oh yeah, so you are coming down to deal with that. Yeah, that's a weird thing. Sure, be at this hospital. We can pick you up from the airport. So it's not. It does appear that the hospital call is real at some point. At which point, let's jump across to you. So you arrive at Insomnia Coffee House. It's raining when you get there, just light rain at this point, and it's still early enough in the evening that there's a little bit of a blue glow around everything, so you can kind of see where you're going. Insomnia Coffee House serves all night, one of those lovely brunchy places that turn into a dinner spot afterwards, and you can get in pretty easily. What car do you pull up in?
It's a Tesla Model Y.
Oh, fantastic.
It's got some improvements on the Model 3, The interior entertainment system, it's got a nicer resolution screen that I think really enhances the experience.
Hey, did
It's
you
the
hear about that
same
guy
kind-
who did the software upgrade? I bet he forgot to change his credit card details and then his car wouldn't work. Yeah, enjoy that, buddy.
Oh, don't worry about that. It's the same kind of deal with my phone. I just trade it in every year or two and get the latest one. It's a good deal. You should look into it.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because these things are getting better and better and safer, and certainly aren't killing more and more pedestrians.
Yeah.
Hey, they're doing subscription models for the heated seats now?
Oh, yeah.
All those add-ons? Yeah. Her car just has heated seats. They're just there. They're just in there. No extra.
Okay, but
This guy
you
has
paid
heated
for
seats? How do you turn
That's how
them
you can
on?
tell it's good.
It's the button on the side of the seat with the little
Thought that moved
little
I just thought
wavy
it moved
bits.
it back
The
and
yeah,
forth.
like the heat. Yeah,
Oh,
nice car though.
hey, that's nice.
I like to think of it this way. I can't afford in my busy life not to have a warm butt.
I agree.
See, it's all about your mindset. You got to reframe your way of thinking.
Make sure you don't cancel your credit card.
So the collection, if you can go in, you can get a seat, you can order some food.
platinum.
You wanted to look
I'm
outside.
gonna look outside. I'm gonna park
where are
around
you,
the
sir?
block, get my camera out, and I want to try and get a shot of him coming in. I think he knows my car, so I'm gonna post up under a street lamp. I'm gonna do PI shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, shit.
Did I put
Can
You
any
take
points
out a
in
cigarette and
stealth?
just put
I
it
did.
in your mouth and not light it.
Yes. So I would like I would like a stealth check from you in a second,
Sure.
Dina. But first of all, what are the two of you doing inside? Any particular conversation or any particular actions you want to take? I'm also just interested in the dynamic between you two as
Oh,
a
yeah.
lawyer and the person who likes the law the least.
Oh yeah. No, I love learning about the law so that I can do my whole sovereign citizen thing. You gotta know the law to get. You gotta know the law to get past. You gotta know how these guys work. You gotta know how the man works, so you can make sure you get yours.
All right.
It is just a stream of consciousness about subscription model cars and how everything that used to be standard they now make you pay for, and it's so that they can turn it off and so that they can spy on you through it. And the more software that a car has, the easier it is to hack into. Do you know I could hack into your car right now and just take the brakes right on off?
And James,
Scunthorpe
do you
is
just let this
like,
wash over you, or
Yeah, pretty much. It's like it's one of those things. Like if you have the money, then you understand it, And it's disappointing that the haters and the naysayers just don't get what makes these kind of entrepreneurial companies so good, and maybe they don't want to understand. And they just want to like live their sad lives without embracing the future.
meanwhile you're outside in the cold car? No, not so cold now because you figured out the hidden
I figured out
seats.
the heated seats. We're just going to really change the game for these stakeouts.
In which case,
I'm going to
let's go
start
with
working on a template for a checklist. I'm going to start I get the manual for my car out of the glove box. I'm going through it with a highlighter and marking down some of the features I wasn't aware of, because clearly I didn't do my study. So that's going to be my due diligence.
So not watching the cafe at all.
I'm doing both. I've got it up high so I can.
So, from inside, then I'm going to ask the two of you to spot hidden checks. Don't roll them right away because Dave, you need to make a decision. I know I asked you to roll a stealth, but I'll say first, just how far back are you parking? Because if I'm very happy to give you a bonus die on the stealth if you park really far back in exchange for a penalty die on the spot hidden.
Done.
It's that kind of deal. Or
Done.
I'll let you auto succeed the stealth if you want to auto fail the spot hidden, for example.
No, I'll do middle ground. I'll go pretty far back. You got to wake up pretty early to hide from a PI, and he's one of the best. So I'll park quite a ways away.
So straight roll
And then
on stealth,
telescopic lens.
straight roll on spot hidden, and a straight roll on spot hidden from YouTube. This is definitely something that's going to scale.
So was that
But you're
bonus
all-
roll on stealth, penalty roll on spot hidden? Was that where I landed?
No, flat on both. But you're going to get
Sure.
at this point.
Sure.
Yeah,
There's the fumble.
Nicely
There it
done,
is.
Scunthorpe.
that's brilliant. Perfect way to start.
I'm a detective.
I am suspicious.
Okay.
Maybe we should. Does anyone else forget to roll their luck? I didn't roll my luck.
Oh, please go right ahead. Let's do
shit,
luck
you're
right
right.
now.
45. That's fine.
Okay, brilliant.
I mean, I rolled it to start with. Like, I rolled it at the start of the
Earlier? All right.
in character
I
creation.
did not.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I did not.
Yeah.
I've got
So,
low
Just
luck.
me.
So I think what happens here is, first of all, let's get a spot hidden. Oh, you succeeded the spot hidden to see the stealth. Oh, you are going great. Okay.
I'm a detective.
Yeah. You are positioned, Dina, in a pretty good spot. And you are very carefully trying to keep an eye on all of the traffic that comes in, anyone that would park here. You're keeping an eye out for Carl's car. Eventually, you do spot it. It's coming down the street, and it turns aside just down a small little laneway where he can park. And you see the doors open, and you can see a shape of the man get out. He seems healthy. He seems well. He seems normal. Now, almost immediately, inside, you see Lucas, because you succeeded, a flurry of activity. Immediately from inside Dina's car, she starts taking pictures. So you can tell that something's happened. And you look up just as at the worst time, we're going to say that, James, you really wanted to make a point about the Tesla. So you've gone out to get something. And what is going to happen is you are going to walk out and cross the road and obscure everybody's vision, a distraction to Lucas, and literally walking across the telescopic lens for just a second. Just a second, but it's all that is needed for Carl to dip for a second, coming around the side of a bank of parked cars. And then you lose him for a moment, Dina, and then you spot someone on the street opposite, look towards where he is, go, and start like, I'm not dealing with this, walking away quickly. And you spot two other people staring. You just have a blocked view. There is a row of parked cars. You can't see what's happening, but people are reacting around on the street.
I scramble out of the car as quickly as I can out into the rain with like a big hood over myself, and I'm trying to get an angle on it to get a photo.
Okay, you start tearing off as quickly as you can. You can hear the commotion at this point now, James and Lucas from the shop. You also have a bad angle because you're still inside. We'll go into dexterity order now.
Okay, I'm like nose against the glass, like.
Okay, so you're going to sprint forward. So just hit me with your dexterities, everybody.
Something's happening. 50.
80.
Oh,
80, 50,
60.
60. Okay, first up, Lucas.
From nose against the glass, I'm probably going to like see a little bit more and see the commotion, just be like, hey, and like start running out the cafe towards whatever's just happened that I couldn't see because of that
Do you have
young
your stupid hat on?
Yeah, my stupid hat on. It's it's like way too big, and it's covered in like swirly stripy things, like the kind of patterns that you're told not to wear on camera.
and yet they're blaming me for ruining the photo. Clearly, it was the hat's fault.
It is ugly.
So you sprint forward, you press your nose up against the glass at the outside of the cafe, and you take a look across. You have a better angle once you've moved, and you can see Carl being bundled into a large white van by two people, and he's slack. He's clearly been like pulled pretty aggressively, and the van is already moving by the time you are there. And you've kind of got an action here if you want to do something like get your phone out, or if you can think of anything.
I got my power shot out. I'm going to take some photos of my power shot.
Okay, you can whip out your camera and you can just start shooting. Do you have photography as a skill?
I think I do. I think I like craft. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because it's part of the journalist one. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Fire out a photography skill.
Hey,
you're better at it than me.
Power shot comes through. I don't have to change any settings. It's just on order, and you just.
With a hard success, you're going to get a good shot of Carl being taken. You're going to get a good shot of the people doing it. They look like pros. They are wearing like full. It's not like combat fatigues, but it's black clothing and ski masks. It's the kind of thing that you could get from like a department store, but they've chosen wisely. And you're also going to get the car's number plate, a series of digits, which you can look up later. That's going to be you. We'll jump straight across to Dina.
I am unknowingly trying to do the exact same thing, also with my camera.
Okay, well, look best from two
same.
angles. What make a photography skill test.
And now it turns into a battle. Of course, mine will need to go and get developed, but when I have them, we're good.
Oh my god.
I love it. Okay, I
also get out like a notepad. I scratch down numbers as I see them. What I'm not doing is launching into a chase. Unless Scunthorpe revs the Tesla and we all tear off.
It doesn't rev. It's electric. That's the whole point.
Wee.
What I know that you both technically did the same thing here, but I want to give you both a little bit of different information. You are coming from different angles. It's only fair. We're going to say you get a really good shot of Carl himself, and I suppose being pulled in, he looks above all things really, really surprised. He has no idea what's going on as far as you're aware. He's what? And eyes wide. He's probably got a few rivals that he's developed over the years, but clearly was not expecting that one of them was going to decide right now to try and pick him up in broad, well, not daylight, but lovely evening dusk.
How many jumped in?
In Chicago. Someone driving, and there are two masked clothes figures.
Gotcha.
go across now, last but not least, to Scunthorpe.
I am fetching from the trunk the Tesla Model Y tire repair kit, which contains an air compressor to regularly top off your tire pressure and a one-piece sealant canister to patch punctures. Now, I think that's significant. It's a significant value add to the product that you only get with the specific, silver class Tesla subscription that I'm on. They gave this to me for free, and as soon as I show this to Lucas, he's going to understand.
So you pull it out, you're walking back onto the sidewalk, and it's at that point that you see the van start to speed off, building up speed quickly, and also the person who went like that is not dealing with this young woman who is just like, I've got things to do, I've got places to be, I can't get drawn into this.
I mean, I fumbled my spot hidden. I don't know if I know what's going on here.
I think you're in a terrible position. So
I didn't see Carl, did I?
You fumbled the spot hidden, but that was more that you blocked everyone else's view from getting
hilarious.
But
we could have stopped this if you weren't in the way.
You did set up early, so you still can try something if you would like. I'm happy for you. That said, your options are just limited here. You're standing holding a puncture repair kit in the middle of a street.
In the middle of the street, yeah. Look, that van's kind of suspicious. I look back to my companions. Are they really worried about that van?
I'm charging towards Day's car that he just got out of to look for clues.
I see that, and I assume we're doing a chase. I'm going to jump back into my car and go, we got to follow that van? Is that what's going on?
You jump into the car. We'll say you boot it up. Lucas, you are darting out of the shop now, or?
Yeah, I'm probably going to dart out of the shot, sprint towards the Tesla, pause for a minute, and slide into the seat next to.
Yeah, absolutely. Meanwhile, Dina, you are going to sprint over to the car. You were saying, James?
Oh, if you're going to sit in the passenger seat, you just got to click accept the terms and conditions there.
Go!
So, the van was moving quick. This is a pretty well executed job, and it takes off right away. None of you open fire on the van, which, good idea. You're in the middle of a crowded city street. But it starts moving at speed and getting away. So we'll jump across very quickly. I want to drive auto check from you if you would like to follow this thing.
Heck yeah.
Let's see what this baby can do.
The Tesla Model Y can do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.7 seconds.
Now, unfortunately, it is also a self-driving car, which might account for your terrible drive auto skill.
That's true.
That's very.
Let's see what happens.
That's very funny.
Oh, it's
only 10 points.
That is
we get a lot less luck in this game than we did in Pulp, but I think that's worth it, right?
We have to get out of the Pulp mindset.
That's so funny, though. You
But
just
10
rely on
points.
the auto driving all the time. Yeah, that should be
100%.
drive auto.
Yeah,
That should be
yeah.
auto drive. Swap those around.
Yeah, just switch that around.
That's perfect. Yep. Nope. I kick it into gear. 10 points of luck. We're off.
10 points of luck,
yes.
and you start tearing up the street just at the standard deviation over the speed limit that you, as a lawyer, know you can do without it becoming a felony or some.
That's true.
You'll pay a fine.
You can afford the fine.
From the passenger seat, Lucas, you can start to prepare something, but in the meantime, Dina, you rush over. You get over to Carl's car.
He'd just gotten out, right?
He'd gotten out. He'd shut the door. If you can make a luck check, actually, we'll see if he dropped his keys.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. The keys are lying on the ground. What kind of car do you think Carl drives? Since we've talked about cars a bit.
Well, he's the real PI, right? So I think it's a bit like Lucas's, but a bit
Nice.
a bit better kept.
He likes to stand out. He wants to,
Well,
he puts on affectations of it.
Yeah, it looks cool, but it blends in, tinted windows and all that, enough so you can have all this crap in the back. I think also he is a bit more on the mythos-y side though, so maybe I get inside and there's an incense or something, like a scent of, and I'm like, ugh, gross. Like, add that in the tobacco.
Like yeah,
I assume
absolutely.
it's just to cover the tobacco, actually.
Brilliant. So you get there. What's your immediate actions as you arrive?
Pop
This
open the
guy's
glove
probably the
box,
fastest.
scramble through it, and look for clues. Missed.
You are not trying to join the chase, though. More importantly.
No, I'm not. After I've looked for clues, I'll ping James to basically like drop a pin for his location, like share location with me on maps or whatever. But for the moment, no, I won't.
Okay. You can make a spot hidden check just right away as you begin to scramble through.
You got it. Schwa. Success.
Okay.
Row of grain here.
Nice.
You start to fumble through all of these, bits and pieces. He's got a little pile of documents that he'd put away into the glove compartment instead of leaving on the out in the open on the passenger seat.
Yeah, 'cause
something
he mentioned
that
he was
you
doing a
can't do because you
stakeout,
have
right?
too many documents. Everything in here, to your eye, looks relatively mundane. There are some case details with a number and some stuff like that. He seems to be doing some kind of work for a woman called, and the information is immediately there, but give me just one moment to confirm.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. Diana Chase. And there's just a bunch of details about what looks like a relatively humdrum, run-of-the-mill investigation that you can look more into. You find a gun in the car, but it's packed away. Like sort of safely at the bottom of like a little compartment. And it's, beyond that, I can't think of any particular information you'd find unless you had unless you have an angle you want to go for.
Well, I was thinking because he called and said, "Hey, we've got a specific case that I need help on." Do I just assume it's this Diana Chase case?
This is the only thing that he has any kind of body of literature on. He might have a couple of random like leads or like a notebook that he keeps about other things. This is what he's currently working on. Yes, it's this whole thing.
Diana Chase case. Okay, I will ping James to drop a location when he arrives wherever, and then I'm going to head back to. I'm going to lock his car, keep the keys, and go back to mine and head to wherever. I will meet them at the destination, not in the chase, I presume.
Since you succeeded the check and you just grabbed one thing and basically left, there are people that start to converge, but you are in and out pretty quickly. Yeah. There's one guy who was trying to be really helpful, who saw what was happening at the end of the street and then sprinted down the entire way. And he's got there and he kind of needs to catch his breath before anything happens. So you're able to just jump in and get into your car and head off. Jumping back inside the vehicle. Lucas, what are you doing from the passenger seat?
Oh, I've taken the compressed, the can of compressed air, and I'm pulling off like bits of it, and I'm reaching into my pocket. And I've got a pen, and I'm taking out bits of pen, and I'm basically making like a little compressed air gun, like a itty bitty potato cannon from the And I'm like releasing the bit on the pressure thing, and I'm like looking around like
what the
pulling shit apart in like a ball bearing from somewhere, and just being like making a weapon out of the compressed air thing.
I love it. I'm trying to think.
I have no idea.
Mechanical repair.
A skill.
Mechanical repair. Absolutely. Demolitions. Let's do it. Bring back the demolition skill.
Let's start with operate heavy machinery and go from there.
Okay. I don't have much.
Operating heavy machinery is like snow
funny? I was
plows
actually
and
going to
shit.
give myself. I was actually going to give myself that.
We're still in the first hour of the scenario. You can move your points around.
I'm going to take it from somewhere else, yeah.
I think if you decide you want to take demolitions with your skill points, you basically have carte blanche to do so at any point.
Do demolitions, Lucas. Become a terrorist.
Well, I feel like that's, you know what? I feel like this is somebody who definitely has like the Anarchist Cookbook at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I'm gonna swap something around and make sure I have that.
That rules.
Actually, and I know exactly what I'm gonna move. So yes.
I sometimes worry about buzzwords that we hit when we're on stream. This episode is the best.
Oh well, I am gonna do that because the journalist wants you to put points in a skill like charm or something, like an interpersonal skill. And you know what? I don't think he has those.
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so do that. We'll get you to make a demolition check when you're ready with that. In the meantime,
I'm ready. It's pretty easy. I got that. Bam.
Okay. So
on the nose.
My assumption is, I mean, I don't think you're going. We're not quite in pulp stage enough that you're going to be able to put together a rifle or something. I'm functionally seeing you making like a little improvised explosive device here.
It's what I want to do with it is I assume Scunthorpe here has air tags on everything.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm ripping the air tag off his keys and putting it on this, and I'm going to shoot an air tag onto the.
That is so cool. Yeah, 100%.
17, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, that is
He's a
sick. That is
genius.
awesome. Yeah,
Oh, it's
okay.
such a big
Just don't look at my
mind
power.
shift playing modern Cthulhu.
This
Get an air
rules.
tag on it. That's awesome. Hell yeah, modern
Just doing
Cthulhu.
like
Let's do
hiding
it.
phones
Yeah.
in shit and then geotag it, or sharing
Yep.
your own location.
I love it. I love it. You can drop a pin, but it can be on their car. All right. So yeah, you succeeded demolitions check. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, you have something now. Look, I'm still going to require. You need to get it on there. So you look advanced towards each other. This
Would this be a
van
rifle or a shotgun roll?
is build. Give me 1 second. I think
Okay.
the van is building up speed, and it is going quick. You quickly realize, James, that this is suddenly going to turn into a car chase, and a very real one too. They start to like swerve quickly. You're still in these early stages at this point, but you only might need to be able to get close enough to be able to get the air tag on it. I would accept a drive order to get close enough to literally like scrape against their car. Of course, you're going to ruin the paint.
The Tesla traffic-aware cruise control can handle all conditions.
I'd take throw.
Jackson, are you being
I would
paid?
take and use the demolitions to try and turn this into something that would allow you to use one of your firearm skills. I'm also happy with that.
I mean, like, I'm just gonna have to pull the pin. Like, I pull the pin out halfway, the pressure starts going up.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
press the air
happy.
thing, I've loosened the top that actually controls it. Yeah,
I'm happy. So if you're happy with that,
and I can just wait for the pressure to get high. Oh, there's no pressure thing on this, so there's gonna be. That's the risk, right?
so firearms check.
I put some points in rifle shotgun because he grew up in the deep Midwest in the middle of
Awesome,
nowhere.
dude.
Fantastic. Okay, make a firearms check then. Here we go.
Sorry, my cat's head's in the way.
Oh, that's a good
Excuse me.
reason.
Pardon.
Oh, nah.
7
points luck.
points.
And yeah, you know what? 7 points of luck. I'm a lucky guy.
let's
I
get
rolled
this
some
is
high for
like-
luck.
It's like the best time, like when you're at the
Yeah.
start of the scenario
Yeah,
and you're
exactly.
getting the
Just burn
first
it, right?
clues. That's the best
Burn
time
it.
to get it because it
Because you certainly
cascades
don't want it
down.
late in the scenario when you're at risk of yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, but like
Okay.
it
And you know
cascades
what?
down.
This
you get the
doesn't have
clues early
the
on.
pulp rule of like saving you
Safe
from
though.
death.
Nah, burn them.
So who cares? What am I going to do with it?
Use them and lose them.
Exactly. You fire off the air tag, and yeah, it whacks into the back of the van where there's like a bunch of scratches and damage on it. Hopefully, it's going to go entirely unnoticed. James, do you want to get into a proper car chase at this point, or would you like to abort? You can see what Lucas is doing. You know that the shot has gone off successfully.
Yeah, if it looks good, there's no point in drawing on more attention and risk scratching a car, perfectly good car. So yeah, let's peel back and
smooth.
meet up.
Nicely done.
Do you want to make a stealth roll for me, genuinely? And this is like, can you kind of duck down a side street now and then loop back around? And no, there was no second car, or at least nothing that anyone got the plates for.
We can give that a try.
What are
Can I
your
argue?
What's your license plate too, Scunthorpe? Is it like Scunt 1?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that. Then I don't want to use my own skills. I want to pull up the map and just draw a line and have the Tesla autopilot just follow around so that we can lose it that way. I don't know if that's a skill. It's probably more navigate, isn't it?
I would look navigate. Yeah, I would take a hard computer use here, but it's not a native skill to be able to do this with. So I bump the difficulty for it. Otherwise, you could do something like you could stop and go for a fast talk here, get out and start, just being loud, talking about being a lawyer and stuff, and just kind of use the ability to just misdirect.
Oh, wait, what's going on? We're still in the car chase and we're just peeling away from them, right?
Yeah, but it's more that other people have seen you take off. Do you want to try and de-implicate yourself in the fact that there was a little bit of a road rage in Tracy?
Right. Maybe we should, get back there and smooth it over. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go to that. Yeah, let's pull over the fast talk. Be like, did anyone get that license plate? They swiped me back there. Look at this scratch. And
I got it.
Lucas scratches the shit out of your car.
I got it.
Make a fast talk check.
He's good.
Yeah,
He's
we're all
good. He's
good.
very good.
Whoa.
A couple of people
Great.
come by. They ask you a few things, but before long, as far as anyone's concerned, all that was happening was you were moving because you were trying to get the number plates, and you're also able to extricate yourself before the police arrive.
Beautiful.
I want to flag very quickly that by our powers combined, we are Batman. Scunthorpe's got the kind of like just the wealth and like the really fancy car. Bailey just
Batman.
improvised a full air tag and fight, and I'm off doing detective shit in like the in the car
We're
in the street.
Batman.
We're just Batman collectively.
Batman
Gadgets, money, and
versus the
detective
mythos.
work.
it's
I love it.
and now,
Unfortunately, we will use guns.
oh yeah, absolutely. We'll use the hell out of guns and bear spray. Can't wait.
So, with that in mind, we're going to move right along so that we don't linger too much here. The collection of you will be able to rally again. We'll say that Insomnia Cafe is a coffee house, is a chain. There's one a little bit further along. So we'll park the three of you back there, gathered around probably just a drink or something to steal your nerves a little bit, and you can decide what you want to do next. You have an AirTag location, and it is at this point moving through Chicago. It pretty quickly gets vanishes into the middle city where it's mired in like downtown traffic, close to one of the highways. It's you've got it, but you don't know its
Great.
destination yet.
We'll have that
So what
up
do we
on
do?
like
We just,
Lucas's laptop, watching it or whatever as we're talking.
Yeah.
So we call the police. We get them to stake the place out and rescue our
Call
man,
the
right?
police.
Let's not
Yeah, I don't
get
trust
the
them.
police involved just
They're
yet.
probably in the pocket of whoever's doing this.
What?
Or Charles could be in, or Carl rather, could just be in trouble. You run into all sorts. This could be a more personal matter. I think we should see where they're going and go and have a look first. We can always call the police later, but for the time being, let's try and work some of this out ourselves.
Well, all right, we can work it out. We could use a few more hands, right? Maybe I call some of the other guys in from the firm, see if they can get some extra eyeballs on the place.
I think
At least there's probably someone at the firm who works up there. Where they go? They're just going to like the outskirts of the city. They're going to like.
They start to hit the main interchange area. My Chicago geography not fantastic, but here the principle
like-
is
are they
they
getting
go
out of
into the
Chicago?
center city, then they start to head out,
The other
and they
side.
are heading to the outskirts. Yes.
Well, we gotta wait for them to get back to some kind of network anyway to know where they are.
I think also, no offense.
This thing doesn't have its own power, you know.
No offense intended, fully intending offense. I don't know that a bunch of lawyers are going to be the best for a stakeout.
I don't follow.
Well,
I gotta be with Dina on this one. We're gonna handle this ourselves.
yeah, let's get out there, find out what's happening, and then, if we need some sharks in the boardroom or whatever, we'll get in touch with some lawyers. But for the moment,
I guess we'll start just watching and seeing where they end up. And then I meant let's find out what we know about that place and what's been happening there. I can look up see if anything untoward is happening wherever they end up.
yeah.
Yeah, like get into city planning
Yeah.
records and
Listen, it's strange too. I got a couple of photos. I need to get them developed. But Carl was surprised when he got grabbed. He didn't see this coming. He truly just thought he was meeting with us. Now, pair that with the call we got earlier today, and something odd's going on. Seems like these people were pretty keen to get him, and truth told, I don't know why just yet. I think.
And didn't Scunthorpe, didn't you call the hospital and it's real?
Yeah.
And he's there?
It makes me think there's like
How's he there? How's he
a
here?
there's like a fake call down in Argentina, and they were meant to replace the real call before we got there, but they were just a bit
Their
late.
timing's off.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Let's not jump to conspiracies. There's got to be a more reasonable explanation for this. Although I'll admit it's not coming to me right now. When's the plane supposed to touch down in Argentina? We should be able to get a photo at least of the person that's being delivered, Carl or otherwise.
What? Yeah, maybe they're taking him. Maybe they're taking him to Argentina now.
But I mean, when the one coming from Antarctica touches down, well, let's ask them to video call us or something so we can get a photo, see that it's really him. As much as video faces can be
They can be
deep
spoofed.
faked or
They can be spoofed.
whatever, Lucas.
Yep.
Look, okay, so new pitch. What about if we decide not to get on the plane tomorrow? I get 3 of my guys to get on the plane instead of us, go down there, and they're there in Argentina, and then we've got eyes on
like
the ground
that.
we can trust, huh?
We got a force. Yeah.
I like that. In the meantime, I guess we head out to where this car's going. We could go and have a look at Carl's apartment, his address. I'm pretty sure
Let's
know
go
where it
see what
is.
he was working on. You found some stuff in his cart. There's going to be more in his apartment. Let's go see what he was working on. While these guys get where they're going, we're not going to be able to follow them till they get there.
The intel in the car was pretty vanilla, but I can have a look through all of his notes, see what he was working on. Okay.
So, throwing out a couple of leads to you then. To reiterate, the car is moving. It starts to slowly head. It hits Lakeshore Drive. It starts to head north. It's moving along at speed. You have a closer look at the documents. You can still do a detailed reading of them, but he appeared to be
Seemed pretty
working
vanilla, right?
on a stakeout job for this woman, Miss Chase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Chase is a relatively wealthy woman who lives in a well-to-do street in a prosperous suburb of Chicago. And she is convinced that they are trying to sell a house on her street. And he's doing stakeout information on the house to try and figure out the details of that. It's very much like a detail with that. Now, he does note at the bottom, he says, there's like a handwritten note on his side which says, found weird underlined, and then he draws a couple of symbols that look like runes or something, and this is out of place compared to the rest of the details. And then he has a secondary note which says contact D for stakeout.
Okay. So seeing this was on the side. I'll go through these. I'm gonna transcribe notes across. Actually, I'll probably hit up like a quick copy or whatever they have in the States and get run copies of all of them of this particular file. I'm not going to snoop. I'm going to snoop, but I'm not going to take copies of his other stuff. I mean, my impression is...
Why don't we go to the house?
There's a man who's been abducted. I kind of feel like that's priority 1, right? Like, we do a bit of investigating until traffic dies down, and then at night, caffeined out
Once
of our
we know where
mind,
they've stopped.
we'll make the drive. Yeah.
We'll make it up. In the meantime, I kind of want to see this house that he was looking at, that he was staking out.
Is it kind of en route, Jim? Is it gonna divert us a lot, or is it in the same? Is it all right?
The van has hit the sort of edge of Chicago and is kind of moving still. This is the equivalent of that. They're doing not a full rural trip as far as you're aware yet, but they might keep going.
Sure.
At this point, no. It's much of a muchness because your job is get onto the to Lakeshore Drive and fire up.
So we'll just kill time until nightfall, and then we'll head out. That sound good to everyone?
Yeah.
But the house, I want to check out the house. We got to check out the house.
And I wouldn't mind checking out Day's apartment if it's
what if it's like it was like a wormhole or something, and he was here, and then he went in the house, and then he was there in Antarctica.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anything's possible.
Not that. No. Not everything is possible. That's not possible. There aren't wormholes in nice Chicago houses.
That's what you think.
No, they're
That's
in
what
space.
you think.
That's where they go.
As far as I'm
And
concerned,
where do they connect from space?
we haven't yet eliminated the impossible. And then once we've done that, whoever's left, however unlikely,
Let's start by putting that in the unlikely pile. All right, here. I'm gonna start prioritizing some of the ideas, and no bad ideas in a brainstorm. That one's going in the bad idea pile, and in the good idea pile, we don't have many things yet. So we'll start filling that one up, and then we'll draw from that. All right, we'll work there. All that said, I am gonna, as I'm going through them, let the other two see the runes and the things that are on the paper, and I'm just gonna say, there is something odd going on. There's certainly not a wormhole, but the people in that house might have thought that they could do something a little bigger. Take a look at this, and I'll slide the symbols across to the other two.
I have a shed load of occult.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
It looks like a couple of just scratchings.
Yeah.
Off the top of your head, vaguely Nordic-looking runes.
Ooh,
You can make an occult check.
no.
Oy.
can.
No, not a fumble, but nothing that you've seen, and nothing that your reading has taught you. This is beyond your area of expertise.
It ain't natural. That's what it ain't.
All right, we'll take a photo, and if we get a chance later, maybe you can run it through a database or something.
That's what you do with
Alright, one of those
databases.
up here.
Okay.
So, the collection you stand, get ready to leave, head out. You go up to pay. Is this a situation where everybody looks towards James when the bill comes up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get the
I'll
next
keep
one.
the receipt.
Okay.
Business
You,
expense.
Business expense,
you head
yeah.
up, a woman behind the counter, sort of in her mid-30s, tired, stationary, but fairly friendly. She looks, taps a couple of things down on a terminal, and it says, that'll be $98,000, 104.
Can I?
Sorry, no, that'll be. Sorry, it's $12.60. I don't
Yeah.
know. Sorry.
Late night. I get it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Sorry. She takes the money and looks kind of confused.
Can I make a psychology roll?
There's a there's
Can
a
I also
vibe
make a
here.
psychology roll?
I want to
Yeah.
make a psychology roll.
Why don't you
We
all
all make psychology roll.
together?
No.
Wall
Yeah.
of grain. Damn.
Lucas, what just happened?
What the fuck?
She looked like, for a second, the mask fell away, and if she was a reptilian infiltrator, she more without leaning too much into the Lucas's way of thinking, she looked really out of it, and she answered on reflex and then caught herself. It's almost as if she was like half asleep for a moment. A little weird.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But you know
I
what? I'm
scratched
not
down the
surprised.
numbers she said.
98104.
Oh, gotcha.
Numbers, what do they mean?
Yeah, Mason. I'm going to give the other two templated clue journals. They're just double-sided pieces of paper for case number 00008.
Yeah.
The day conspiracy. And go ahead, and anything you find, there's a region for it. Don't just write it down anywhere. Put it in the
Yeah, cool.
appropriate
And
section, because that's how
shove it
we're
in the
going to
pocket.
comply. Okay, all right. That's just, it's useful. So it's useful, all right? There's a process to this.
989. Assuming we've paid and got out of there. 98104, 5 digits. That's a zip code.
Okay, that's good. Nice.
Okay.
It's
That was,
not a year.
I'm inclined to say lizard people, but those do exist, by the way.
Uh-huh. No,
But
they
I don't think that's what that was. I think that was something else. They do. They can shark their skins like a banana.
It's a zip code for Seattle, Washington.
Seattle, Washington.
Is that where Carl's doing? Yeah.
Is that in the approximate
here?
direction of where they might be going?
Oh, like that's on the other side of
That's-
the country.
Other side of the
Long,
country.
long
no,
drive?
No. And for convenience's sake, so that we're not hovered too long, you get into the car, you started having the conversation.
We're
as you
heading
head
to
towards
the house with the...
Oh, I
rooms.
wanted to, on the way, start making preparations for finding some employees at the law firm who I can get to prepare for a flight to Argentina tomorrow, maybe if they need to.
You succeeded on your credit rating last time.
Did I?
So
What was that for?
that was for setting up the logistics of making that trip real. You booked the
Oh,
tickets,
that's true.
everything like
It's
that.
a real trip.
I'm happy for it to come over that. You do have to make a couple of phone calls. Your business is a family business, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 100%. Like my dad and my uncle are like the big boss partners, and I'm like,
Junior partner.
So
yeah.
But you
just-
really shouldn't
yeah.
be.
you make a
Really
couple of
shouldn't be.
calls to start planning this. You hang up. You're driving along with the others. You get a call from your mum. and she's heard the story, and it was like, immediately starts to want to have a chat with you, and it's just I've been thinking of you. It feels like a good time. Hey, Argentina, that's really interesting. And
I hear it's real nice at this time of year.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Unless you kill the conversation, you spend a good 15 minutes to drive across.
Oh yeah, no, this is.
You don't hang up on your mum.
You don't hang up on your mum.
And I'm glad that even Lucas holds true to this philosophy and doesn't.
You don't hang up on your ma.
Brilliant.
Yeah, mother.
By the time you're arriving in the pretty close vicinity of the house, which specifically I'll give you address of the place. It is in a well-to-do suburb of Chicago. The air tag stops. It has stopped at a relatively deserted area, but there's still rows of fairly nice kind of mansions and farms that kind of dot the area. It's pulled into one of them along Lakeshore Drive at the north side.
Okay.
So not the north side of Chicago. It's on Lakeshore Drive north. It's
okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So is it still in Greater Chicago, or is it gone out?
It is
as a city.
It's the Melbourne equivalent for reference. This is like in this is like in Bacchus Marsh or something like that, right? It's a little bit out of the city.
In the greater part of the city, but kind of in the city.
Kind of a population.
Yeah. Technically in the city. Great.
Okay. Is it as we approach this other area with the house that he noted the symbols he was staking out? Is this is this a similar kind of wealth level to the one that they're going to, kind of vibe, or does this other one seem might these people run in similar circles?
Does someone want to make
Scunthorpe make a credit rating roll?
Or a credit rating is fine too. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Get the socio-economic climate of the place. Oh, that's not worth spending luck.
Yeah,
I'm going to leave that there.
No.
Yes, this is
push it by
the
buying
other.
a house in the area.
That's quite funny.
And if you fail it, you get your credit card, your credit card fails, and then your Tesla stops driving.
If you fail it, the housing bubble collapses.
If you ever push a credit rating roll, you get locked out of your Tesla. It's pretty funny.
It is.
It just starts auto driving back to the factory.
On brand. By the way, I've been I was looking at the Tesla Model Y manual while we're doing this. I looked up the tire repair kit, and I just realized it did not do that in incognito. So I know what my ads are going to look like for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Lucas told you, dude. Privacy.
Privacy, man.
It's on you.
So, would I be during the drive? Would I be correct in saying that you might want to read the case study more thoroughly?
Well, we're all in our own cars, so every time I get to a red light, I do try and pull it out and thumb through it a bit. And I imagine Chicago's got pretty bad traffic, so I'm probably at a standstill a lot of the time. So I'll read it over the steering wheel when I'm stopped.
You're right. I had you carpooling in my head for some reason, but you all have your own cars. You absolutely would all be in your own cars.
We probably. I would be carpooling with somebody.
I can ride with someone else because you can use the Tesla summon feature to have it follow danger.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god! Again, I'm reading the manual, and it's just covered in red warning, yellow caution, warning.
What I tell you?
Red. I would never do this.
Hashtag not an app. To be clear.
Yeah. Well, no. This is me saying this is terrifying. It's a terrible idea, but Scunthorpe's right into it.
Yeah, of course.
Summon the demon car. Whoa.
Summon the demon car.
I'm
definitely riding with somebody because my car is not reliable.
You're welcome to share with me. You'll just need to kick all the the takeout containers and coffee things off the side.
Or you're welcome with me. You just have to put your fingerprint in the cup holder.
No.
All right. Sounds like you two together then.
Take a photo.
In which I'm pretty happy for you to have had a more decent glance over it. Lucas, is there anything you want to be doing specifically?
I think I want to be looking up those symbols.
Yeah. Those symbols?
I want to be looking at those symbols. They didn't ping any of my occult sensors, but I want to see if they're in any databases that I can get into, and if anybody else has emailed them, if they've ended up somewhere that I can search them.
Makes sense. Computer use check from you. I'll grab. We'll get the credit rating from you,
No.
please, James. And oh no, you already made it. Sorry, my bad. And
It's nowhere.
can we get from you a?
Kind of just
I
driving.
think
I'm thumbing through the case, but I think I'm mostly just driving.
I think yeah. I
I'm
think
just
I'll
getting
just give you
across
the surface level. Yeah. All right.
That's fine.
Perfect.
Hey,
all right,
Lucas,
Dina,
are you a good driver?
I'll pretend I am. I'd say
Okay.
yes.
No, I'm driving.
If Dave is asking Alex, no. If Dina is asking
Dina
Lucas,
is not.
yes.
It's only if I know that you're a much more capable driver. Because I'm competent, but I'm not like amazing at it. That's fine. It's my car.
based.
I'll drive. All right, I'm slightly
I
low
walk.
base. I'll do it.
So the building is on Brown Avenue. Just quickly, this is in the case notes. Diana Chase lives just a little bit further up, and is interested in it. It's a famous building in local legend because it's meant to be haunted.
Ugh.
You. So I already know about it.
Dina goes, ugh.
Yeah, it was also for a while, mostly because of its reputation, bought by a very minor rock star for a little while, who had a great time partying in it and then sold it. Yeah,
Cool.
there you go. So you arrive in the area and you get a good view of the house. It's a 2-story building with a nice little sort of covered patio area out the front, and columns. It's very suburban. This isn't like a creepy mansion. It's just a good sized suburban house. There's a little garden. You can see a car parked in the driveway. There's a letterbox. It looks occupied. There's some lights on upstairs. It seems perfectly calm. You can also see Diana Chase's house, much more modern, much nicer, a little bit further down. You know, once again, we're not talking mansions here, just sort of like very nice houses.
Yeah.
Because it depends what you'd find as a mansion, but yes.
I'll park.
I think it's a mention to me.
I will park a few blocks away and then get out a. Dina wears like not like formal, but like business, like, you know, looks professional or close enough to it, but all of the lines of her clothing are ruined by this huge backpack that she puts on over the top of it that is loaded up with cameras and, you know, journals and knickknacks and all sorts of shit, a gun, anything she might need. And once Lucas and I are out, I'm gonna put the 2 pairs of car keys I have in my pocket and we'll start walking over towards it.
Okay. On your side, James, anything different?
No, just park right up close because I just put the address into the car, so it's just going to take me straight to the door. Like nothing I can do about it. Sorry.
Okay. You will see the Tesla peeling around. If you want to sort of flag stop or something like that, so you can try.
But there's like 8 Teslas on this block, right?
Do you want to make a luck check?
Yeah, and I'm not moving out in front of one because I'll get hit.
We want there to be more or not?
No, I mean like this is the kind of neighborhood that a Tesla is going to blend right in.
Yeah. This is like these are my people, aren't they?
Stealth up.
Make a luck check. Let's
Luck
see,
it.
because genuinely, this might just be perfect.
I don't understand. I mean, it's a failure, but is that what I wanted or not what I wanted?
Unfortunately, your car is going to stick out. If you park right outside, it'll be a statement.
Which
This
is
is
what
old
James
money.
probably
They've
wants.
got
James is like, hell yeah,
This is old
check
money.
out the car.
Old money. They've got like Mercedes and yeah.
It's like maybe a little bit more pro fossil fuel kind of demographic. Is that what we're thinking?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like Porsche 4-wheel drives.
Done.
So, do you want to flag for James to stop so that you can kind of approach from a stealth? Yeah, all right.
We'll try
In which
again,
case,
but-
you park a little bit around the corner. 3 of you can convene and head up to the house a little quieter. And you're going to the haunted house,
one.
not to
Yeah.
Diana's.
Oh yeah, haunted house.
Not to Chase's house. Don't Chase's house.
I'm talking
You
everyone
get
through
there.
as we're going. I'm saying, no, we're not trying not to be seen. This is occupied. You've all got your things, so write down anything you notice, but we're just staking out. We're not going inside at this point. We're just trying to get a sense for what he might have been looking into.
I'm gonna slip around the back and see if there's a door unlocked.
Okay.
Okay. So, you dart round the back of the house, heading along. There's a gate on one side, but the other one is open. You can get straight through to the backyard. I'll ask you to make a stealth check. The other two, if you are lurking like just out the front across the street, you can do some basic observation without having to roll. Is there anything particular you're looking for?
Remind me again, what do we know about this house? Is it empty right now?
No, it's occupied.
It looks occupied. There's a car in the front.
It is
You could,
occupied.
yeah.
And what was Carl hired to do?
So Carl was
watch it
hired
because-
by this Diana Chase to stake this one
By a
out because she
neighbor.
thinks it's being sold. And he was just looking into, I guess,
That's
who
it?
the buyer was and stuff. Yeah, it's a very mundane thing, but it had scratched symbols at the bottom of it. And he
Yeah,
wanted to get
gotcha.
me involved to stake it out, which implies it might have needed a bit more grunt work.
That's kind of odd, isn't it? I mean, houses get bought and sold all the time.
I guess
I
maybe
think
seeing who's
we'd
coming and
better.
going.
I think we'd be better off asking this Ms. Chase about what exactly she's worried about.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good idea. Listen, I can stay here on the outside and keep an eye out for Lucas, and I'll act as go-between because Lucas won't trust his phone to call you. Why don't you go and ask Miss Chase before it gets too late, and I'll
I'm inclined to do
give me
just
a
that.
call. Okay, I'll post up in the in-between.
Okay. So you post up.
I would like to push this roll.
Oh,
You were going to
fuck
push the roll.
yes.
Okay. Hell yeah. So you.
Pull down your bandit mask.
I love it.
Yeah.
Creeping along.
You post up in between. It's getting late now, right? It is like 9:40, I would say. So you are right in the point where it's like it's
bad if I get seen.
Late.
They're calling the police or the local
Yeah.
community.
We running.
The
I running.
You head over, Lucas, to Diana's house. It's relatively nice.
James.
Is your
The other
intention
one's
going to be
Scunthorpe.
to? Sorry, not Lucas. I meant James. Are you going to be ringing? Are you basically just going to go up and knock?
Yeah.
Bing
Knock on the
bong.
door. Yeah, that's what you do.
Come back to you in a second because first of all, pushing the stealth roll. Yeah. Do you want to genuinely be like slide down a mask or something like that? And
I've got like a bandana, but it's like one of those skeleton ones.
yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
yes.
And
you
am I still
do.
wearing my sunglasses? Yes, I am.
Yes.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
God.
I also think that to be clear, if you fail to push stealth roll, you're going to get caught.
Oh, I'm running. If I fail the stealth run, somebody sees me, I am simply piss bolting on foot.
This is not the kind of neighborhood where you want to be seen walking around in a mask.
Neighborhood watch will get your ass.
I mean, this is lovable.
Yeah.
I just don't wanna.
But before Lucas pushes, Jim,
Yeah.
because I'm kind of acting as go-between, might I be able to assist this on the push roll? I think the first one's already gone through. Can I now, seeing Lucas creeping around, and if I see like a light turn on or something, like make a noise out the front or chuck a rock at one of the windows or something?
That makes total sense to me. Love it. Yes. So take a bonus die on this.
Yeah.
And I still hope you fail, Alex.
Oh yeah.
We're on the same page, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Ah,
come
nuts.
on. Look at that.
Well done. Didn't
Hard
even need
success.
it.
So you creep down along the side of the house, and before long, you're around at the back. It's a nice backyard. It's relatively well kept. There's some trees. There's a little shed out the back, but it really it has a window that you can. Lest I set you up for shed, not shed. You click a light for a split second, and you can see it's filled with just
crap.
normal kind
Yeah.
of supplies.
It's
things
just-
like that.
Guns.
The house
House
itself.
big garden, lots of
Dissected
supplies.
bodies.
The
Standard.
house itself is clearly in use. You can see down on the bottom floor, there's you're peeking in through the windows a little bit. The lights are on, so you can see right in. And the people inside don't look super concerned about privacy. You spot a man and a woman. They seem around the same age. You would presume a couple. They are walking around, chatting. There's a TV on in the back. It's a little glimpse into calm and simple domesticity.
Suspicious.
No.
Yeah, it's suspicious. That's
No,
suspicious.
it's
Is there
not.
any?
It's a normal house.
Can I have a look around now? The message I got was that he was found in Antarctica clutching a statue. Can I look around for any statues?
Ooh.
Sure. You start creeping along the windows, really peeking in. At one point, you get up and peer over the lip of the living room where you can now see the couple sitting on the couch watching TV, one arm around each other. And you glance around. It's actually quite a bland house now that you get this close and look at it. It feels very IKEA design catalog, they bought out the entire thing and
Seems
just
like-
got all of that. There's art on the walls, but it's a lot of
Stock art, man.
it's a lot of motivational posters specifically.
Oh,
Hang in
God.
And you're glancing around. No statue,
Weird.
nothing out of the ordinary. Do you want to make a spot hidden for
That
me?
is fucking
I
weird.
do. Oh, I do. I very much do. I love spotting hidden things.
Nice.
It's my
Okay.
vibe.
You're glancing around and you're a bit of a distractible guy. You can't help but
Yeah.
look at the TV once or twice. And then suddenly you realize, hang on, they're watching something that's just a little bit odd. There are subtitles on down the bottom and you can just vaguely hear it. They appear to be watching a self-help video.
That's so
I'd like to
good.
tell you all about the miracle of CPS. James, are you stressed recently? You've been feeling stressed. You've
I have been
getting
feeling
down
a little
recently.
bit stressed.
Well, CPS has the answers for you. CPS is a self-help community that are dedicated to trying to help people become the best versions of themselves. They gather together. And
yes.
they really just work on trying to make sure that everybody is calm, that they're able to work through, because life throws a lot of problems at you. So it's a lot of like managerial training. I feel like it's the kind of thing that you might have gone to a meeting of once or twice. You know, there's a lot of celebrities that endorse it. It's a really great way to meet people.
Network.
Lucas, feel like it's the kind of thing that you've read online. Is
Lizard people.
a massive cult. This lovely couple are watching like a branded CPS video, and it's like talking about how meditation and relaxation can lead the way in helping you self-actualize.
What does CPS stand
lots
for?
of people are kind of doing yoga and things like that. Pardon me?
My first. What does CPS stand for? That's my first question.
Yes,
So I'm
stands
guessing they're not protecting any children.
No. Sorry, that is absolutely information I should have had immediately on board. Give me 1 second.
Might have been an acronym. Maybe it's
Yeah.
The Church of Perfect Science.
Oh. That's the game we're playing.
You know, this is why public mental health services keep being defunded. It's because of all of these lizard people starting
You
cults.
started so strong.
You're better
on
off
that
just gonna go
sentence.
see a therapist, but you can't because they're underfunded because the government wants you in a cult instead.
Okay, I get it. You keep on. You have good points in here, but the wave is.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what you get a glimpse of. Beyond that, there's nothing. We'll leave you there for a second. You can absolutely undertake something else, but we'll jump first straight across to the other house. Lucas, you head up. You ring.
Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe.
Oh, my I don't know
really
why
don't
I
wanna
keep
say
mixing
that.
the two of you up. Scunthorpe, you ring on the doorbell. You wait a little bit, and then a woman opens it. She is in perhaps her mid-60s, very well put together. There would have been a photograph in the documents that you got from Carl. This is absolutely Diana. And she's got a little bit of a scowl on. And
Surely not for long when she sees a handsome young man in his mid-20s wearing a suit.
do you want to make a charm roll?
Absolutely.
I would love for you to make a chub roll.
Again, like, we're still in the first bit of the session. Scenario. I didn't make this character sheet. James hopefully made it for me. So
That's right.
I've been switching a few points into charm.
Yeah.
And here we go. I said, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh,
And there we
there
are.
it
Nicely
is.
done.
Just a little bit of a frown, but there's a raised eyebrow of intrigue there.
Is it Ms. Diana Chase? Can I presume?
That's me. Yes. Can I help you? It's a little late for.
I know, and I'm so sorry to bother you. I wish I could have waited a little bit longer. I'm sorry. My name's James Scunthorpe of Scunthorpe and Scunthorpe, the big law firm in the city. You might have heard of us. And I'm a good associate of Mr. Carl Day, who I understand you've engaged recently.
Yes. Oh, you're with Carl. Oh, well, look, come on in then. Is everything all right? It's sorry. She invites you inside.
Thank you.
you quickly gather a bit of information, just like looking around. She appears to live alone. She appears to have still been awake, a little bit of a night owl, kind of seems perfectly friendly. She leads you through into the kitchen where she puts on a kettle to make tea. Is everything all right? No, I wouldn't have expected a visit at 98104 at night. Sorry, 9:45 at night.
Mm-hmm.
Do you make a sanity check at this point, Jackson? I think it's just a little. It's a little.
Oh no, I don't like this at all. No, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
That's fine.
Totally fine. Don't worry about it.
Can everyone write that down? Because I forgot it the first time and I got it this time. 98104. That's fun. This is fun. No, I think everything's all right. It's Carl got called away. Got a little bit not distracted, but unavailable to give the job his full attention. And so he really cares about this job, and he really wants to make sure that you're looked after. So I hope it's all right that he called me in here to pick up where he left off, as it were. I understand. I've got a few of his notes, but I really just wanted to meet you and wanted to get the story from you, just to add that little personal touch. I think it's very important in this line of work. So I wonder if you don't mind just giving me, in your words, what exactly is it you wanted to know about this house down the street here?
Sure. Yeah. Well, look, I'm very happy to provide the information. I appreciate your fastidiousness. I hired Carl because I am trying to. I'm looking into the Global Realty, the service that purchased that house. Carl worked with me. I hired him to find out about my now ex-husband, and he helped me quite a bit, and so I rehired him here. That house, has historic value to the community, and I'm just interested in it. And it was bought by some realtor company, the Global Realty, as I mentioned, and they've started. They've started bringing in like analysts, I suppose you would say, bringing in lots of equipment. So a couple of vans will pull up. I thought they might have been looking for oil or gold underneath it or something like that. And they've started doing some work on the house. It's all very weird. I thought they might be preparing it to sell to a developer, and I'm not very keen on a massive development in the middle of the neighborhood. So I figured I should look things up. I feel it's my responsibility as a member of the community here.
But your responsibility and your right as a homeowner, just up the street. I'm shocked that you weren't insulted, to be honest.
Glad you feel that way.
Might be some kind of bylaw that prevents that kind of work being undertaken without your permission.
Well, it was loud at times, and it wasn't appreciated.
Loud? It was disruptive to your sleep. Would you say you suffered some, mental ill effects?
I suppose, yes. And yeah, you continue the conversation. She's very happy to answer anything else that you might have. Do you have any other particular questions? Otherwise,
does anyone live there now?
Yes, the Watsons. I think they're renting the place now. Michael and Barbara.
Michael and Barbara, what they rented the place before it was purchased, or after it was purchased by the company?
After it was purchased by the company.
After it was purchased, Michael and Barbara Walter started renting it out.
I don't know if they're associated with the company, because they seem to be perfectly happy with all the developments taking place while they live there. But
And then what kind of people are they like? I imagine you see them around the neighborhood.
They're very nice. A bit. Michael will talk your ear off if you let him have half a chance. But they're very polite, always well dressed. Work from home, I think. I don't know what to add.
Oh, what kind of work do you know?
I would have guessed. It seems like young professional, something in marketing, if I had to guess.
Sure. Well, that's very helpful. How often would you say that these people and this equipment come in?
It's a bit less frequent now, but the last couple of weeks have been quiet. But for a while, they were coming in every day for a good week.
Oh, yeah.
It's been about 2 months since the purchase happened.
Gotcha. And since it's slowed down, you're thinking, well, maybe they're trying to start something up again, right? Because if they've done the investigations, who knows what they're going to do to the place?
Yeah, well, exactly. And you know, if it is some kind of underground whatever, if it is oil or I don't know.
Well, it's been very helpful, very nice talking to you, Ms. Chase, and I really appreciate your time on such a late night. What I'm going to do for you now is I'm going to go to the city planning office. I'm going to find out exactly what applications have been put in and what applications should have been put in, more to the point, and we're going to find out exactly what they're planning with this house and how it's going to impact you, and I'm going to make sure that they know how it's already impacted you, because this is it's a bit of a concern.
Okay, well that sounds excellent. I'm very appreciative of that. And she gives you a warm smile. You drink your tea. It's a good encounter. You make a psychology check. Just
I leave my card. Yeah, that was a. No, not yet. Extreme success. I know all of her secrets.
Holy shit. Scott
And
was
I'll
good
tell
at
you-
this.
He's good. He's very
He's
good.
good.
She appears to be entirely straightforward.
Listen.
You get the impression that she's divorced. She's a little bored. She's also genuinely well-meaning. Also, kind of interested to see if she's got oil under her house too. She is not. There is no ulterior motive beyond mundane ulterior motives for looking into something.
And that slip.
And
when
Carl's
the
a charming guy.
And that slip when the numbers came out. Do I get a sense of what was going on in her brain there?
She already seems to have forgotten it.
Yeah.
You get. It seemed like just a brain fart. Nothing unusual at all.
Which wouldn't have been unusual at all if it hadn't happened already tonight.
Exactly. Yeah. And linked into that moment of like almost absentee seizure sort of level of just kind of say something and then go, what? No, sorry.
Well, I'm out of there, and it sounds like I need to book a flight to Washington, to Seattle.
Okay.
It's a zip code. I'm calling it now.
Sure.
Meanwhile, jumping across the two of you, you're staring through the window. Anything else you want to do from here?
Back away slowly. Is there? Is there? Yeah, I suppose with the spot hidden. No, not at this point, because I don't. There's nothing else I know. There's stuff that Alex knows to look for that Lucas isn't going to.
Go straight to the cellar.
I'm gonna back away slowly.
Lucas has had just enough exposure to creepy
Yeah.
stuff. I'm happy for you to push things if you
Go
want.
on.
I wonder. I just
Follow your
wonder if
heart.
there's-
Follow your heart.
This is such a normal looking place. It's so normal. It's too normal. Suspiciously normal. One of
You
what
know,
they've got
Pleasant
in the
View and
basement.
those kind of ideas, those memes exist. You know.
Yeah, exactly. What do they got in the basement? This is the kind of family that has something in their basement. They got something in the basement. I want to see if there's like a basement window or if there's like, yeah.
Okay. You sneak around
Seems
and you
like
start
the
checking out
type.
the place as best you can, running your eyes around it. From what you can see, there is a couple of basement windows at the side. You bend down and you flick on
my
a,
stomach.
Yep, you flick on a light and you start to check. From outside, Dina, you are going to see, because we've got to make things a little bit interesting, whatever program they were watching finishes, and the two start getting ready to go to bed, which means that they start to move through, turn off all the lights. There's a possibility that they're going to spot something here.
Yeah.
From where you are, is there anything you want to do? Either you could try and get in and have a look yourself, or try and cover Lucas in some way.
Is Scunthorpe heading back yet, or is he still mid-conversation at this point?
You've seen him come out. He's now heading back.
Okay. Luke, I don't want to call Lucas because the phone would be too loud. Also because he probably doesn't have his phone on him for 5G or whatever.
I turn it off in between calls,
I was
obviously.
thinking we should get walkie-talkies. What we call. All right, I'm
Yeah, short band, it's the way to go.
going to
Easy to hijack though.
Fuck it, YOLO. I'm gonna stand in between for a little bit and then decide action is the name of the game. And I'm going to dart across to join Lucas and scurry down along the side.
Okay, can you make a stealth check for me?
Rock and roll. Let's see if I can fuck this up. Nah. I was gonna make a pitch.
Okay. No, so
Yeah.
you dart over as well. And before you know it, the two of you are crouched at the back of the house. You have just enough time to see the shape of a young woman. She's got blonde hair, which she keeps tied back in a ponytail. She's wearing like a loose hoodie. Seems happy. Turns off a light on the bottom level and then walks upstairs, leaving the bottom of the house dark. Before long, they're both upstairs. You can see the little window into the basement. You can see the door leading into the bottom floor. What are the two of you doing?
I'll whisper.
Peering into the basement.
I'll whisper to Lucas. They're going upstairs to bed. Scunthorpe's coming back. Small window. Let's have a look.
Oh yeah, now's the time.
I'm
These
going
guys,
to reach into my.
I'm gonna tell Dina as well that they were watching a cult video, and I'm not going to elaborate.
I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. And nod. I'm gonna put it down on the. I'm gonna motion. I'm gonna write on the form, and then I'll write it on my own. I'm gonna go in my bag and produce like one of those like long flat lengths of wire that you might use for getting inside a car, and I'm gonna try and jimmy open one of the windows.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Make a locksmith check.
Lucas,
Meanwhile,
is there any
you're
chance
checking
do you have locksmith by any chance?
No.
Ah, damn! I was hoping for a bonus. I'm not great at this. I'm gonna do it.
I don't break into things. I just look at things and make shit up.
Do you want to make a spot hidden though? Because you are trying to
get
peer around.
it in.
I do wanna make a
Locksmith,
spot hidden.
hard success on a 21. Well done, dude.
Good, because I can't see shit, yo.
You are not able to get anything, but fortunately, you can just go in and have a look because before long, you manage to lever open the window and push it up, and it's a small gap, but it's enough that you could just reel down in.
James is gonna hate this.
I drop my backpack off. I'm going to widen it as far as I can, and then I'm going to turn around and begin to shimmy myself in. If Scunthorpe's come back to where we were waiting, I'm going to tell Ben, like, wait, get Scunthorpe to come. Or get him to watch at least. Just tell him where we are, and then I'm going to drop down on the inside.
Scunthorpe, you are walking across, and you are just about to sort of look for the others when you get a phone call, and it is the number of Dr. Sonia Sanchez calling again.
So when you said it was unknown number, it actually is a number.
You've added it now.
It doesn't come up as unknown.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. It was. You just didn't know the number. I apologize. Not a
Understood.
private.
No, that's good to know. I will jump into the car and answer it.
Okay. So you catch a sight of Scunthorpe jumping into the car.
With the phone, I assume.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I know what he's doing.
And so are you, given that, are you going to stay up watching? Or
I'm staying up here and I'm going to keep watch for Dina downstairs.
Okay.
And I'm basically clocking whether any lights turn on elsewhere in the house.
All right. You're stationed there watching. You're inside the car as you sit down. And you hear Dr. Sonia James
Sanchez.
Sanchez, yeah, Dr. Sanchez say, Mr. Scunthorpe,
Dr. Sanchez, glad to hear from you. I went ahead and booked those flights for tomorrow. We'll see you very soon.
I'm glad to hear that. Mr. Sanchez, I'm so sorry. Mr. Day has passed away. On arrival, he will cut across down in the basement. You land in the middle of the shadow.
Get my phone out to turn the flashlight on.
Start to look around. There is nothing in here. It's empty, entirely empty. There's not even like the boxes of like random storage stuff.
Yeah, because they moved in recently. This would be where all their like cases and things are.
But it's not there. Instead, in the corner, there is a machinery is all you can think of it, like literally like some kind of contraption. It looks like an espresso machine that's been all put together weirdly. And then next to it, there is a big cylindrical something with a blanket draped across it, covering the entire thing.
I'm going to walk forward cautiously, hearing my own footsteps and listening out for, Lucas above, for the people moving upstairs, reach out with my phone's torch, the only thing. So very focused, what I can see, the light killing my peripheral vision, grab the blanket that covers it and wrench it back to see what's underneath.
Okay, you do that. You do so. You go forward. You grab a hold of it. Upstairs, you are starting to look around more and more. There is nobody coming down at this point. But then you spot something. The house next door, which isn't Diana's, it's just a random house, a light flickers on the upstairs, and then off and on, and off and on, and off and on. It starts flickering a few times, and you suddenly see a silhouette.
Is it Morse code?
It's trying to get your attention. You're pretty sure.
Okay.
You take a look?
Yeah.
Once you're looking over, you can see that there is a girl of maybe 13, 14 standing in the window. She's dressed in pajamas, and she's opened the window, letting in sort of the cold air, and she's waving towards you.
Is this the house we're investigating or one across the road?
Next door.
It's next door. It's the house next door. She's waving from there.
I'm gonna...
She motions for you to come closer.
Yeah, I will. I trust Dina. Dina's a professional. I trust her. We don't want to leave. No stone unturned. This is what she'd do.
Hell yeah.
All right, brilliant. You start to stride over just as back in the car. He landed. He was unwell. Started to get sicker and sicker. I don't know what had happened to him. We tried to rush him into treatment. Every time we thought we stabilized him, massive internal bleeding. It's like his vessels were just leaching blood. Something akin to radiation poisoning. I don't know what the situation is, but he passed away, and he made me promise that I'd send the statue to you.
I see. Do you still need us down there to identify the body or make any arrangements?
I suppose that's probably best. I have a colleague who's going to be in Chicago soon.
Sure, that'd be helpful, and I can send some employees of mine down there to handle any admin stuff if that's needed.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you her flight details and the hotel she's staying at. Gives you a name and sort of starts to organize that.
And the statue.
Yeah, she'll bring it through to you. You can pick it up from her at the hotel.
That'd be fine. When should we expect her?
I think she lands tomorrow evening, so she'll head straight to the hotel.
Ah, I see. Well, that's very helpful, and thank you for taking the time, Dr. Sanchez.
Absolutely. Then you hear the sound of movement on the other end of the phone, and she looks up and she says something in Spanish. One moment. You hear the phone get put down, and then you hear footsteps, sound, and then a gunshot.
Oh.
We jump back across to down in the basement as you pull off this blanket. Standing in the center of what is a large cylindrical tank, like a Bacta tank from Star Wars, is an entirely nude woman, probably 20, staring straight out at you, eyes wide, skin pale. Her eyes track you. You'll need to make a sanity check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good thing it wasn't me down there.
That'll get you.
That'll get me.
Yes.
Ooh, that'll get you.
Okay, fantastic. On a failure for this, I think 2 sanity points is appropriate.
I, on seeing this, scramble back, drop the phone for a moment, and in the darkness let out a scream I try to stifle.
That is fantastic. You slam your hands to your mouth and try and stifle the scream. Say that it doesn't go all the way, but upstairs the lights flicker back on as potentially the movement downstairs. Should you check on that? Lucas, you look back to try and see if the light is going.
I'm looking at this chick. I'm looking at the yeah.
But she's there, and what she starts doing is she motions you closer until you're standing by the fence line. She's still too far away to yell anything. Unless to say anything, you'd have to yell. But what she starts doing is she goes
9, 8, 1, 0.
And I'm doing it back with it like at the same time.
And then she keeps going. She mimes to you 98104. 2481. The lights are on. Are you staying? She's still going.
Yes.
7725.
Got it.
You can now see that the lights are on in the bottom floor as well, out of the corner of your eye. She's still going. Do you want to stay?
Yes.
The template form.
99182. As you've got the scream stifled, the woman in the tank hunches over slightly and like looks at you. She moves oddly, and outside on the phone, you hear footsteps. A voice picks up, and a man's voice says, "Who is this?"
I'm inclined to hang up.
You go to kill the call, and before you can, he gets one word out, and he says, "Scunthorpe? Is Scunthorpe there? Do you want to kill the call?"
No, it's gone. It's dead.
The ghost dead.
Fuck that.
And we'll end the
Don't
session
have
there.
time for that.
Hell yeah. That's
Perfect.
fucking good shit, baby.
And with a final sting, because you did stay for the last line of digits,
I did.
You'll hear a scrape of movement at the top of the basement stairs as well, in that case. So we'll pick up
We love it.
in the basement, weird conspiracies, what's happening. Thanks for playing. That's a lot of it.
Thanks, Big Jim.
Brilliant.
This is good. I'm liking this scenario.
I love modern Cthulhu. I can't overstate
It's a lot of fun.
It's really fun.
So thank you, Jackson. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Dave. Thank you to everybody for watching.
you, Jimbo.
I really appreciate
Thanks
it.
all.
That was one more time, Cults of Cthulhu, A God's Dream, where you can see the other episodes of Cult of Cthulhu, a scenario set in the 19th century, one set in the 1920s, and now this one here. A big thanks again to Sirenscape and to Roll20. We will be back next week with part 2, and have a good day.
See you soon.